Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. Before I continue, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Like this video. If it gave you a great comment, feel free to leave a comment down below. I am Ruth Fry, Realtor with Keller Williams Infinity in Naperville, Illinois. And today for my video, I'm going to talk about 10 assumptions people have about realtors. This is always a fun topic. I always ask people, what are your assumptions about selling real estate or being realtors? And these are 10 things that I have heard. Now, preface this to say, these are not the only 10 things that I've heard. These are just the most common 10 things that I've heard lately. I've asked for another round on my Instagram, what assumptions people have about realtors. And I'm going to see if there's any new assumptions, since like a bunch of stuff's been happening in the industry now, and a lot of people are like talking about Zillow now selling houses and things like that. I'm interested to hear what new assumptions may be about realtors. So, number one, it's an easy job. No. It is not an easy job, but it is a fulfilling and worthwhile job. So an easy job to me would be something where you go home and you don't have to worry about things, you know, for the rest of the night. It's just kind of like you're just there fulfilling something that's just easy and even flowing. With a realtor, it's like you're going 1,000 miles an hour for 5 minutes, and then you stop and you have to make a turn. And then you're going 50 miles an hour for another 10 minutes, and then you have to stop and make a turn. And you're back to 1,000 miles an hour. It's an exciting, fast-paced, can be very fast-paced career. It's a great job, but it definitely is not something that I would consider easy. And in fact, I'd be curious to hear what you think down below is an easy job. Because I'm not really sure I could think of a really easy job right now, other than, I don't know, typing the letter. What are those like numbers in Lost, where the guy just had to go every like how many minutes and type in the numbers in Lost, and then if you never saw that TV show, you don't remember. Okay, number two, realtors get huge commissions. That's not true. There are realtors that do get some large commissions if they're selling like a multi-million-dollar property or something, like they have both sides of the deal. But as a whole, what I would consider a huge commission is over $20,000. And I don't know a lot of people that get commissions that high, at least in my area. So if you look at it this way, your commissions are split between basically 4 entities, right? Your commission for the listing agent gets a commission, but really that comes from the listing agent's brokerage, because your agreement to sell your house is not with the listing agent, it's with their brokerage, right? So then the brokerage takes their cut, and then they give a cut to their agent, and then you're splitting the commission with the buy side. So your buyer's broker, not your broker, but your buyer's broker takes their cut, and then they give a portion of their proceeds, or a portion of the proceeds as a whole, to the buyer's agent. So you are basically splitting everything into 4. And then if you save some of your money for taxes, which you should, and everything comes out like costs and everything, you're probably getting 1 to 1.5% maybe of the commission. So no, as a whole, they don't get huge commissions. It's a good commission. It's not like a huge commission or anything like that. Number 3, realtors have to dress nice and have a fancy car. So I'm going to just split this in half. You don't have to have a fancy car in most markets, and I'm speaking about my market and markets around me. You don't have to have a fancy car to be a realtor. Sometimes that's a real turnoff to a prospective buyer or seller, because they're assuming that you might make too much money and don't want to deal with their like $200,000 house. You don't have to have one. If you do, good for you, that's awesome, but it's not a requirement. Fancy clothes. I mean, I've been told this a few times. Oh, you must have a really fancy clothes, and it's like, well, yeah, if you like, I buy my clothes sometimes at a thrift store. So if you consider that fancy, okay, sure. Personally, I am a saver and a discount shopper. So if I'm finding something fancy, I've got a significant discount because I'm not going to pay $200 for a shirt, and I'm not going to pay $300 for a pair of pants or a dress or a suit. I'm not doing it. So if you see me in something fancy, chances are I got it at a significant discount or I got it at a thrift store. My clients have never once said anything to me about how non-fancy my clothes are. They're regular clothes that you get from regular stores, or nice clothes that I get at a deep discount, and that's just, they don't care. There'll be some markets in the country where they expect you to wear jeans and t-shirts, and I couldn't go that far, but there are markets in the country that do that. So no, you don't have to dress nice and have a fancy car unless you are in a very specific niche market that requires it, and that is not a majority of the country whatsoever. Number 4, you find your clients easily as a realtor. It's very easy. Stuff comes to you so easy. No. A lot of people have a lot of success because they have like a huge family and they sell to their family, and then their family grows and then they continue to keep selling. There are some people that have like a huge social circle and they get fed with that. And then there's some people that pay like a ton of marketing. I mean, there's a couple agents I know that they do like print, media, advertise on the radio. They spend like a huge budget of their time, their budget on, you know, marketing. I don't do that. Most agents I know don't. And if you follow like Gary Keller's principles, he's the guy that like heads up the company I work for, Keller Williams. If you follow his principle, it's like red light, green light. You know, do you have the income coming in? No, you're not spending the money. Do you have the income coming in and you can afford to spend the money? Sure. So most people are like in between here and here. And so they're not going to be spending thousands of dollars on that type of thing. So most people, I would venture to say, don't find their clients easily. They do find some of their clients easily, but as a whole, you have to work. This is a actual career, a profession. You actually have to work on it. And so no, I wouldn't say they find their clients easily as a whole. That's a wrong assumption. Number 5, the nicer the house you pick, it's more money. So realtors want you to go for nicer houses so they get a bigger paycheck. Look, I don't think anybody's going to deny that sometimes you'll find a realtor that, just like in every profession, that they're not in it for the right reasons. And those people literally will get weeded out by their own profession. They are found out, and they do get weeded out eventually. However, most of the time. However, I and everyone that I know in my circle, in my office, we would never do that. The reason's a few-fold. Number 1, you may want the nice big house, but if we are just steering you, which you can't steer, it's a violation. If we're like trying to get you to buy a nicer house than what you can afford or what you want or what you were looking for, we're first of all not doing our job. We're making your lives miserable because you're gonna move in and be miserable. What happens when you're miserable during a transaction? You're gonna basically say, oh, this realtor sucked because we didn't want this and they convinced us to buy it and now we can't afford this and this. And that is something, bad press goes way further than good press. So we don't want that. So I would say that 99% of the time is so wrong. And the 1% of it that is right are people that will get weeded out, found out, and the profession will swallow them whole and blow them up. That's not gonna, no. I want you to find the house that you can afford, that you're gonna be happy in, that you're gonna be settled in, and that you're gonna tell all your friends that I helped you find, and then, you know, move it from there. I never want to put anybody in a house where I don't think they're going to be happy. And if I think for a second that they're not going to be happy there, I do open my mouth and I do say something. Don't think otherwise. It's just not normal. All right, number 6. Oh, this is good. Real estate agents are like stay-at-home moms who just do this for fun. No. This is a career. It is an actual career. You are managing your own business. You're running your own business. This is your business. This is how you feed your family. So this is not something that stay-at-home moms do for fun as a whole, because there's not a lot of fun when you're sitting up at 9 o'clock in the night trying to negotiate a deal between a buyer and a seller, or your deal is exploding and it's like 10 p.m. and you have to put your kids down to bed and then run into the office and hope that you can salvage something so you can get a paycheck that month. No. It also kind of bothers me, this assumption, and I will tell you why. Because why do you think that the only agents out there are female? There's a lot of male agents out there. So you're basically, like, when you assume this, you're negating all the male agents. It's no. Number 7, realtors are dishonest. No. If you're an actual realtor, you have to take a code of ethics. You have to abide by a code of ethics. Your office isn't going to want you to be dishonest, because then that is a whole liability issue. You're talking about being sued. You're talking about losing everything. You could lose your house. You could lose your everything. So no, realtors on a whole are not dishonest. And that is just a horrible assumption to make. Not even close. Number 8, Zillow knows more than realtors do. Just use Zillow. No. When was the last time Zillow was in your living room looking at your wallpaper and telling you that maybe you should change it before you sell your house? Sure, they can print off something. They can go do statistics and print off what they think your house is worth and then send you an offer in some markets to buy your house. What good is that going to do you if really they've never seen your property? If they've never seen your property, if they've never been in it, walked in it, heard the floor creak, looked up at the ceiling, seen the big leak stain, they're useless for that. And you know, you'll hear a lot of realtors talk about how much they don't like Zillow. I really don't like Zillow. I don't like clicking on Zillow. I don't like, because they've just made this entire culture of people who think that Zillow knows best. And they didn't take the state board license. They haven't been in your house. They don't know any of this stuff. So no, Zillow is not as good as a realtor walking into your house. I don't care who it is. No. Number 9, all you need to do is paperwork. You can sell houses yourself. Agents aren't needed. I would say in some instances, you probably don't need an agent to sell your house. And if I was going in for a listing appointment and that was the case, I would be honest and tell you that. That's rare. Agents do a lot more than paperwork, and we do a lot more than opening a door. We are there to hold your hand, manage crises, when and if they come up, manage timelines, make sure that you've got a good, that the attorney that you've got is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and making sure that the mortgage officer that you're working with is working together with everybody else. And they kind of just are the glue that holds everything together to get to the closing table. And I attend my closings, so I like to sit down and make sure everybody's taken care of. If you're a for sale by owner, you're not handling that portion as well as somebody who's actually taken the exams and the tests and the extra work that we have to do every 2 years to make sure that we're still apprised of the law and how everything works. You don't have those relationships with all those vendors like we do. So sometimes, yes, you're totally fine, but statistics show that you're actually more likely to sell your house for a higher cost if you use a realtor than you do doing it by yourself. So sometimes, but most of the time, no. And the last one is real estate agent's only job is to give you the key and you can just walk in yourself. I've heard that a couple times. Can't you just give me the key and I'll just walk around? No, I'll lose my license. That is not, why would I just give you the key so you can walk in some strange person's house and walk around all their things where you're not supervised? What if they have a dog that comes in and attacks you? What if you're allergic to cats and you didn't know that they were in there? What if somebody's actually in the house that's not supposed to be? What if there's a loose floorboard and it's in the MLS, but I didn't tell you and you just fall through? What if the door sticks to the basement and you push it open and fall down the stairs? Why would you want to go in by yourself with the key? You're crazy. Let the realtor come in and help you out. That's what our job is, to make sure you're safe and everything's stable. So this was a fun video. I had wrote down 10 assumptions from people that I was given, and I have asked for more. So if you have an assumption that's different than this about a realtor, why don't you let me know below and I will address it in a future video. And as always, I really appreciate you tuning in, and please make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.